The Teddy Roosevelt shirts arrived. Link below. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon, Stefan, and the Gilmore girls are going to Carolina Perna. And here I thought the Gilmore girls was set in Connecticut. What's going on with Rory, by the way? Anyway, this morning we learned the Patriots were going to release Stephon Gilmore, and then they traded him instead to Carolina for a 2023 6th-round pick before the release became official. And who told you there was a chance Gilmore would be traded before the release on the GPS show this morning? Stephon Gilmore could be traded still because he won't officially be released until 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, for whoever pays attention to that shit. So maybe the Patriots release the news that they're going to release him, and then they get a team who wants to not compete for Gilmore, and then they bring him in. Me. So this turned out to be another savvy move by Bill Belichick, getting something for a currently injured player when he could have received nothing. Now, Gilmore's trade can't be finalized, though, until the Panthers figure out how to remove him from this tanning bed, where he's been stuck since the Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. And then, when things appeared to be bleak for the Packers, who couldn't afford to trade for Gilmore, they were rumored to be a team interested, they instead swoop in and sign the recently released Cowboys linebacker Jaylon Smith. Lots to discuss today on That's Good Sports. If you want to stay abreast of NFL news, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Today's episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com and use my code That'sGoodSports14 to get 14 free meals plus free shipping. Now that football season is underway, I am busier than ever, especially with all this news happening, which is why I rely on HelloFresh and their quick 20-minute meal option, so my routine is never altered. I've got 70-hour work weeks plus a 1-year-old running around, so HelloFresh protects my blind side by saving me time and money, allowing me to keep my routine and my wife and I fed. One reason I love HelloFresh is because it gives me new ideas for meals I've made many times. This week, we did burgers, and HelloFresh's special sauce house burger was a huge hit. Just don't confuse the mini vinegar bottle for shooters. Oh, that was just one of 50 menu options, and I get the family size, so I have leftovers, saving me even more time and more money. And the 5-star recipes are printed out, which makes them super easy to read and to follow. And everything is pre-portioned, so you're never wasting food. Again, go to HelloFresh.com and use my code That'sGoodSports14 for 14 free meals across 5 boxes plus free shipping. All right, before I get to Jaylon Smith and Stephon Gilmore, there was some other NFL news that happened today. First and foremost, Matt Nagy finally named Justin Fields the starting quarterback for the Bears for the rest of the season. Congratulations, Nagy. First, Urban Meyer takes the pressure off of you as the dumbest looking coach in the NFL, and now you commit to the QB your team traded up for. Smart. I do think Justin Fields faces a tough test against a Raiders team that now, finally after the Khalil Mack trade, have a good pass rush again. David Montgomery is injured, which is a shame because it appeared as if the Bears had finally figured out that running the football is a young QB's best friend. Unless you're Joe Burrow. His best friend, of course, is wide receiver Jamar Chase. But you get the point. Now, the Green Bay Packers did sign a corner today, Rasul Douglas from the Cardinals practice squad. Here's what's interesting. Douglas is a 5th-year player on the practice squad. A 5th-year player on the practice squad, that's never a good sign. 3 years with the Eagles. He was with Carolina last season, which is funny since Carolina decided to trade for Gilmore and not take Douglas off the Cardinals practice squad, which they could have done. I think they know Douglas's ceiling, and the Packers right now are desperate for cheap help and depth at the corner position. Which leads me to Jaire Alexander, the injured Packers corner, who is not expected to require surgery. But even that sounded a little iffy. My guess is his injury is bad enough where surgery will probably happen this offseason, and he won't need it right now, assuming he can tolerate the pain of the AC joint sprain. Apparently, with the aid of a shoulder brace, he could be good to go this week against the Bengals. That sounds risky to me, but I'm not a doctor, although I could be confused for one in Los Angeles. The point, Jaire will be back. I don't know when he will be fully healthy, and I think this will hinder his play on the field if he does return soon. So, can new linebacker Jaylon Smith mitigate that for Green Bay? Maybe. Or maybe Green Bay signed Jaylon Smith because whenever they sign a linebacker named Smith, it pretty much works out. Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, and now Jaylon Smith. Hey, what's the Packers' favorite band? Fleetwood Mac. Oh, fuck. You were supposed to say the Smiths! Why would you even think of Fleetwood Mac? The Smiths! The Smiths, you fucking idiot! It's been a long day, but that's no excuse for butchering that joke. Not even a good joke. A dad joke, if you will. Seriously, check out the Smiths if you haven't. Or maybe the Packers intend to sign Jaylon Smith so the media will stop asking head coach Matt LaFleur about Jaire Alexander's injury.
An idea for how long he's going to be out?
I don't.
Out for this week, though.
Most likely. You guys just love to just try to pry every piece out of me.
You said you don't have an update on what today.
We did. Yes, we did.
Yes, Matt. The media does want to know if one of the best corners in the league will play this week. Now, the Packers are a team filled with uncertainty, from Aaron Rodgers' future to their mounting injuries, to Jaire Alexander's injury, Jaylon Smith. We don't know if he's any good. He looked good. Then he looked bad. Maybe he's good again. So far, Jaylon Smith this season has been pretty good in coverage situations, despite what this one hilarious picture of him would suggest. He was one of the best linebackers in the NFL in 2018, but is expendable in Dallas now due to the fact that they drafted Micah Parsons and already have Leighton Vander Esch on the roster. Which makes me think Dallas just jinxed themselves. Anytime you think you have too much depth, injuries follow. That's how the football gods operate. It already happened to the Broncos receivers this season, to their corners this season. It's happened to the Ravens and 49ers running backs. Greedy Dallas, you will regret this, mark my words. And the Packers may have just found a diamond in the rough. Smith had a bad 2020 on a very, very bad Dallas defense. To me, this smells like a guy poised to play at a high level in the right situation, which I think Green Bay is. After a rough week one, Green Bay's defense has been decent this season. Assuming there are no hiccups, Jaylon Smith signing with the Packers will become official tomorrow. Now, the Packers can probably actually afford Jaylon Smith because Dallas will still be paying him $7.2 million, which means Green Bay can sign him for $1, right? Because he'll still meet the vet minimum. Bill Belichick did put out a heartfelt statement this morning when New England announced they would be releasing Stephon Gilmore. Belichick stated, "We are releasing Stefan Gilmore. He was a good player." And man, I'm not sure I've ever seen Bill Belichick open up like that. Now, the Panthers are obviously committed to getting deeper at cornerback. They spent their first-round pick on J.C. Horn, who's currently on IR with a broken foot. Just last week, they traded for C.J. Henderson from the Jaguars, who spent the 9th overall pick on the former Florida cornerback in the 2020 draft. Stefan Gilmore, if you recall, was drafted 10th overall by the Buffalo Bills in 2010. So the Panthers have 3 top 10 drafted corners on their roster right now. I'm not sure we've ever seen that. And I don't know what's crazier, that or that the Packers have so many Smiths at fucking linebacker. At this point, I'm just hoping there are no more guys named Mahomes that can be drafted by the Chiefs. Now, the Panthers already have a solid veteran at the corner position in Dante Jackson, who's going to be looking for a new deal after this season. Throw in safety Jeremy Chin, and you have to love what the Panthers are doing in their secondary right now. If Gilmore is still good, which I do have to question due to his injury issues, and if JC Horn can mend his bones quickly, this team with an already top 5 defense could get healthy come December when you need it the most. The Panthers do expect Gilmore to be ready to play by week 7, so their medical staff agrees with the Patriots medical staff about Gilmore's injury. That may sound redundant, but see the Washington football team failing to diagnose cancer on Trent Williams' head, and see the 2020 Chargers for treating Tyrod Taylor like a voodoo doll with pain-killing injections. Ultimately, this move by the Panthers tells me that they are committed to competing for a playoff spot this year, not just down the road. They got unlucky when JC Horn got hurt because he was playing well up to that point, but they went aggressive in replacing him, dropping a 5th rounder, a 6th rounder, and Dan Arnold in order to acquire both Henderson and Gilmore. The question will be, are either of those guys worth the trade? There's no assurance that Gilmore is the same guy he was a couple years ago when he was really the biggest reason the Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. And we don't really have any evidence that CJ Henderson wasn't a waste of a 9th overall pick after missing half of his rookie year. The best thing you can say about CJ Henderson is that he gets to escape the incredibly messy situation in Jacksonville and start over before they can ruin his potential. And if you think about the Panthers and the Jags, the Panthers found the right college head coach to come into their organization, and the Jaguars did not. So the narrative about college coaches not being able to translate to the NFL, a fallacy, because we're seeing it right now with Matt Rule, who I think is one of the top 10 coaches in the league. Boom! There you go. That's good sports. Check out my power rankings video, or I dropped a really great Urban Meyer video last night on this channel. Ah, damn. Thank you guys. Thank you.